Kiss.
It's your boy Marquez Smith, also known as Akers, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Back with another Who's Better team edition again. We know the NBA season kicked off last night, and we saw the Boston Celtics, and it got me thinking. They whooped up on the Philadelphia Sixers. It got me thinking, who's the better team between the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors? Now, we know that Toronto traded for Kawhi Leonard for DeMar DeRozan this past offseason. We know that their defense is going to be nasty. They have Danny Green, Kawhi, OG, Lowry, and Ibaka, who's also pretty good on the defensive side, and probably going to come off the bench this upcoming season. They're going to be really good if Kawhi Leonard can be the type of player we know that he was in San Antonio. If they're getting that type of player, then Kawhi definitely could possibly be the best player in the Eastern Conference and a top 4 player in the NBA overall, even though I think Kyrie Irving is the best player in the Eastern Conference. But after last night, after that terrible performance, I know it's just one game, there's 81 more. I don't know, because it seemed like the Boston Celtics was kind of running their offense through Jason Tatum, who's going to be a superstar. If they're running their offense through Jason Tatum already, then Kyrie Irving may not have the type of MVP season that I predicted. But who's going to be better? I mean, it's really a toss-up because they're both so deep. You can't really say, like the argument that most people love to say about the Celtics is they can go 10 deep. So can the Toronto Raptors. But whose bench is better? If we're going to look into the deepness of each team, you got to say that the Boston Celtics bench is way deeper than the Toronto Raptors because they have guys like Morris. They have guys like Smart, Terry Rozier coming off the bench. A lot of those guys are starters. And the Toronto Raptors have guys coming off the bench, but I don't know if they would be starters on another NBA team like the guys on the bench of the Boston Celtics. And to me, there's a difference between starter quality players and starters. You know, like Toronto Raptors have starter quality players, but the Boston Celtics to me have starters on their bench. And to me, there's a difference between actual starters coming off the bench and starter quality. And I think the Toronto Raptors have a lot of starter quality players, but the Boston Celtics have actual players that can go start on the team. Like when I say starter quality, I mean like, yeah, they could start on a team, probably a terrible team, but they're better off coming off the bench. So that's what I mean by that. So even though that they're both great defensive teams, I would give the edge to the Toronto Raptors, and I would give the edge on offense to the Boston Celtics, because in terms of offensive talent, it's really not even close. Boston is deeper when we're talking about offensive talent. Their entire starting lineup shoots close to 40% or 40% from the three-point line, and they got guys in their lineup that top 5 that can create their own shots. Gordon Hayward can create his own shot. And you know Kyrie Irving can create his own shot. Jason Tatum can create his own shot. Morris and Rozier can do that as well. Toronto won't have much offensive versatility. So that being said, though, I got to roll with the Boston Celtics being better than the Toronto Raptors this upcoming season. And we know the Celtics dealt with injuries all season last year, not even having their top 2 players on their team. And by adding Hayward, he's going to be a huge addition, and he's going to be, I think, more impactful than the DeMar for Kyrie, purely from the offensive production standpoint, because Hayward's going to be taking minutes from players that made the Boston offense a little stagnant at times and replace it with an all-star type production. Basically, the Toronto Raptors are sliding out DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard, who, don't get me wrong, is a better player than DeMar DeRozan, but the points-wise, they were similar. Offensive points are kind of similar. Kawhi's defense is really, really what sets him above DeMar DeRozan. So, that being said, though, I got to roll with Boston over the Toronto Raptors. I still have the Raptors winning the East, but I still think the Boston Celtics will be going to the Eastern Conference Finals and probably to the NBA Finals if everybody stays healthy. But this is your boy, Marquez Smith, also known as A-Kiss, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on these videos. Also in the comments, let me know which next video you want me to do, player comparisons or even a team edition And also check out the links in the description below. I got my new podcast I just dropped today. Go check that out. SNS Podcast, Sports and Stats. This is your boy, Mark K. Smith. I'm gone, man. Peace.